What's up, y'all? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here, where data empowers your true potential, showing you the power of your numbers. Do y'all like my new slogan? I had a couple of people come up with it, but it definitely encompasses everything that I want to do on this channel. And that includes today's video for What Sold Wednesday. I do this every single week. What sold in the past week? I will show you my top brands, my top categories, strategies that I've been working on, and I'm going to actually show you the data. So it's not just this me telling you things. We're actually going to look at my data, look at my numbers, so you can see how I decide things and the actual numbers behind what I'm telling you. So you can see the facts. And then also, hopefully this is teaching you how to look at your numbers to hit your true potential. What's up, Duncan? What's up, Michelle? Thanks for, I know, Duncan, we missed you. And there was a question in the last show that I was like, if Duncan was here, he would be able to answer the question. I don't remember what it was though, but if y'all don't know Duncan, he is an eBay pro. So if you have eBay questions, definitely reach out to him. Duncan, feel free to leave your Facebook link in here. He has a Facebook eBay page, so you can reach out to him there. He also has a eBay ebook. If you're interested in that, you can reach out to Duncan directly or to me for that. Him and Chris are definitely a large part in why my eBay is where it's at compared to a couple months ago. So as I wait for, what's up, Michelle? I just saw you over in Daniela's chat, so thanks for hopping over. Daniela I'm actually going to be on Daniela Ivy and Blush on her Instagram live on Saturday, so watch out for that. We're going to be talking numbers and reselling and all of that. So as I wait for people to hop on, let me give you a couple updates on what has been going on, a couple announcements. Oh, thanks. I got it on Poshmark. Imagine that. I have a hat obsession. So I am going to give a couple announcements as we wait for people to hop on, and then I jump right into the content for this. This is a live what sold. We will look at all of the data and then show you the actual items that sold, as well as anything relevant that's happening in the world right now that may impact us as resellers. I do have an affiliate program for the dashboard. We'll see that in a minute. But if you are an affiliate, I did go ahead and increase the affiliate percent payout because it is a lot of work to come up with content and kind of promote the product. And I totally understand that. So I do want to make sure to pay accordingly. So if you're already an affiliate, that's already gone into effect. If you've thought about becoming an affiliate in the past, there is a link down below and you can sign up to become an affiliate. For that, I have a podcast. So definitely head on over. The link for that is down below. So make sure to head on over to the podcast. You can become a follower, I think they're called on podcasts. It's on most major podcasts, Apple and Spotify and all those. And if it's content that you like, you can consider subscribing, or I think it's called subscribing, where you just pay a small monthly fee as low as 99 cents a month to help support the podcast and help me create the content. So links for that is down below. Instagram, I am scaling back a little bit on YouTube, only doing these 2 live videos a week because my kids are remote learning. They started remote learning this week. I have 3 children that I'm staying home teaching during this school year. So I have scaled back my YouTube. However, I am still on Instagram. I'm giving lots of tips on Instagram in my stories, as well as I purchased a palette. So I am showing the progress of that and documenting that on my stories. My posts, I'm excited. I just started a weekly post I'm going to do with Breezy Von Breezy. So if you're not aware of her, definitely follow her. But we will be posting a social media tip every week to help resellers, level up. We're calling it level up social media tips. So you can level up and use social media to make more money. So definitely make sure to follow me there. I'm still figuring out these banners. I have an Instagram one. Hold on. I don't know. Maybe I got rid of it. So definitely make sure and follow over there. It's every Tuesday. And then we do a challenge as well. So we tell you a little bit of tip and then give you a challenge to do as well. So you can kind of try out the tip and then ask questions for us if you have. Duncan says, I can't afford 99 cents. I totally get it. Duncan, I get it. No worries. But you don't know until you ask, right? People aren't aware of it. I didn't even know about it until Anchor sent me an email. And I was like, oh, well, let me tell people. So a couple things that are happening with me right now before we get into the numbers, because this is going to impact my numbers and what is selling for me. One is, as I mentioned, kids are remote learning. So I'm scaling back on a lot of what I've been doing in order to continue to resell with less time, I have purchased a pallet. It's supposed to be coming on Friday. I am documenting that process through my Instagram stories, and I have a highlight. So if you're interested in that, make sure to go over and check that out. Ask me questions if you have them. I'm not giving away the source. I don't tell you what thrift stores I shop at, so I'm not going to give away the source, but I am going to show you what I think about and what I considered. And once I start selling items, I will show you on these what sold videos and analyze the data from that perspective. And if you want to ask questions like, how did you look for something, or what were you looking at? Whatever it is, just let me know. But I have had a couple of people ask, and I've decided not to share the source just because that is kind of what brings in my money. But I am definitely willing to help guide you through the process. So I have also, y'all can you see? Yeah, that box right there. That's my ThreadUp box. I'm in the process of, I had Crenshaw on, was it last week? I think live talking about, she has a ThreadUp course. It's 6.5 hours of content that I am about 60% of the way through. So I've pulled some of my inventory. I'm going to send up some stale inventory to ThreadUp and kind of get a feel for that. It's all the rage on social media right now, I feel. So I kind of want to dip my toes in and see how that is. So once I do that, you guys will see that in the results of that in my data and in these videos as well. I'll probably start sharing what sold up on ThreadUp and how I analyze it and what I'm looking at. So definitely follow that. So that's what's going on with me. Let's get right into how was my week. Let's look at the numbers, and then I'll go over some economic and platform updates that could possibly have impacted my numbers. So this week, $951 on all reselling platforms. That for me is PoshMark and eBay. 13 on eBay, 14 on PoshMark, which is interesting. It has probably been, I don't know, at least 2 months since PoshMark has outperformed eBay. So I have a couple theories on this, but I'm interested to hear what you guys think as well. If you're watching this in the recording as well, leave your notes down below. So I think, and I'll get into the data a little bit more and a little bit more in depth in this, but I think a couple of the reasons that my, still trying to figure out these banners. I think a couple of the reasons that my eBay is possibly down a little. So on Friday, I converted over to managed payments. It was the first day in probably 2 or 3 months that I have not had one single sale on eBay. Yesterday was the second day in 2 months that I have not had one single sale on eBay. I did a couple polls on my Instagram, and keep in mind, these are small surveys, sample surveys. I don't have a huge following, but I think it was like 80% of people said when they switched over to managed payments as well, they also had kind of a dip in sales. So I think that might be one part on eBay. The other thing is if you watched in July, I was consigning some of my brother-in-law's stuff, and he was doing about 20 items a week. He's been reselling for 12 years, so he knew what he was selling. We've kind of filtered off of that for a little bit right now, just with me remote learning the kids and stuff, and kind of not doing that as much right now. And so I'm not getting that. I mean, his stuff was selling consistently and selling at, average sale price of like 60, $100. So I mean, 60 to 100, like 60 and 100 are not the same number, right? But 60 to 100, a big, definitely over $50 average sale price. So that I think is a leading contributor to in my eBay sales kind of being a little bit lower than they've been in the past. I'm also listing less. I was listing in July, I was listing 10 items a day. I have gone down to 7 items a day because I'm remote learning the children. I do pay a lister, but even just getting enough inventory and taking the pictures for my lister to list it, 50 is about where I'm at right now. I'm going to see how this palette goes and kind of how remote learning is going and see if I can't increase that a little bit more. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Have you guys noticed, Duncan, have you switched over to managed payments? Have you noticed the same thing? Anyone else in the audience, how have your eBay sales been? Do you think it's managed payments in my brother-in-law, or are eBay sales kind of just down across the board because, we're having, riots in the US, and now there's a hurricane coming and people are really worried about remote learning for their kids, all of that stuff. So drop a note down below. Let me know how your guys's sales have been, and if you have other thoughts. Michelle's saying you haven't switched. Have you noticed a difference in your sales. How's eBay been for you? Poshmark has been, actually Poshmark is down a little bit too. And head on over and watch my Monday live. I had on Christina. She has an MBA and has worked in corporate finance. And we talked for legit a straight hour about trends and economics and what is happening right now and how that impacts resellers and what we can do to continue to keep our business afloat. Lots of really good information there. But one thing she did say is a lot of the retailers haven't been able to figure out what to do with back to school. Usually we get a flex, and in the reselling world too, we get a flex in back to school wear. My kids are remote learning. I didn't take them. I did go and buy them like a shirt so they could wear a new shirt and have like the, frills of a new shirt, but not like I normally would. And I know that a lot of people that I know were the same way. They didn't take kids back to school shopping. So Duncan is saying, yeah, I heard sales fell when people signed up for managed payments. Watch the returns on managed payments. They are double dipping the funds. Ooh, that's an interesting tip. Let me write that down. What do you mean by that? They're double dipping the funds. Like if you have a return, just make sure they're only taking it out once. I'm writing that down to pay attention. I haven't, so I'm set up to where I am being paid out once a day, but I switched over on Monday or Friday, and then it was a weekend. And so I think I've had 2 payments. Today's Wednesday. I've had 2 payments since I switched over. And to be honest, the kids started remote learning, so I haven't even looked at them yet. So I will keep an eye on that. Returns, eBay. Okay, making a note of that. Thanks, Duncan. Always such a wealth of knowledge. My week is going normal across all marketplaces. That's good to know. I've had a killer day actually today. Which is good. Yesterday I had 0 sales, and today I think I've had like 10. So it kind of like adds out, right? So that's what's going on. Managed payments. I did a pallet Monday live, less activity on Poshmark. I'm not able to be on there and doing the followers and sharing because I am with the kids more during the day than I was before. That's it. So who wants to see some data? Let's look at some of my data, and then I will go ahead and show you the actual items that sold. Feel free to ask questions or share what's been working for you guys as well. This is why I like to do the live, because I like chatting with you guys. They put return funds on hold and take them. And then when you get the item back and accept the return, the returns are taken again. Oh, so it's not like on PayPal, they just keep it like pending, right? Like you can't take that amount out. And then once you do a return, they take it out. That's good to know. I have a couple pending returns right now, so I'll definitely keep an eye out for this. I'm going to be honest, when people are like, oh, reselling, you just go shopping and take some pictures and list it and it is what it is. I spend probably an hour or 2 a week on reconciling all of my finances. And it's largely in part to eBay. Between PayPal and others, PayPal and managed payments, it's just a complete nightmare. So I'm hoping that they will get that up and running. August has been a little slower than July. I moved the managed payments next week. Not excited for the dip in sales, but excited to not have to pay a monthly invoice. Yeah, that'll be nice. And I am excited to sit down and look at how they have the managed payment set up to see if it's a little bit easier. I've heard it's easier to see how everything is. I usually will get my invoice and I'm like they could charge me double and I'd have no idea, which is awful. But I did sit down when I first started eBay, and it took me forever to try and figure out what was going on, and it just wasn't worth my time. So I am hoping that does pick up. Let's look at some data. Legos are working good for me. Yeah, toys and Legos. I've definitely heard that. I do shoes, purses, and clothes. So I like it, but I've considered venturing out, but I kind of like it. I don't know. We'll see. So this is the Sarah Styles Analytical Dashboard. If you guys haven't seen it before or you're new to my channel, you can purchase this. This is for sale along with 2 other dashboards that I have, and you track your own data. So this is me tracking my own data. When I list something, it goes in here, and when I sell something, it goes in here. I'm in the habit of doing it. It probably takes me an extra 30 seconds at every time an item sells. So I've gotten into the habit of doing it so that I can see my numbers and kind of track what I'm doing. So if you look here, my performance, this is 28 days compared to the previous 28 days. I am down in my gross revenue. I've sold 35 less items. I've also listed 90 items less. So there is kind of a correlation here, especially on eBay. There's a correlation between items that you're listing and items that you're selling. Like I said, in July, I was listing 10 items a day, and now I'm down to listing 7 items a day. That also has decreased my sell-through rate. However, my average sale price is continuing to go up, and I've always been an average sale price seller. So you can sell a lot of items at a low profit, or you can sell less items at a higher profit. I much prefer to sell a few items at the higher margin, but you have to look at what's happening with the economic, or with the pandemic hitting. I kind of put some lower average sale price items in here. So Kathy is saying, I find GoDaddy bookkeeping makes it easy to reconcile. The issue that I have with GoDaddy is then it is only for eBay. I also sell on PoshMark and Etsy. I also have YouTube income. I also have, hopefully eventually, podcast income. So I have streams of revenue from a lot of different places. I do have a spreadsheet that is set up, and it works very efficiently for Etsy, for Poshmark, for YouTube. Everywhere else it works very efficiently for. It does not work very good for PayPal. And now PayPal, we'll see how it works with managed payments, because it's not so straightforward to see how things are going. Sell less for more equals less work. I mean, sometimes, but not necessarily. If you can find those items that sell, if you can find, replenishables that you're making a small profit off of, like this palette, Duncan, I decided to purchase a palette. Y'all know me. I ran the numbers. I looked at spreadsheets. I tried to figure out, in theory, at a high level, what I think the profit would be. And the profit on most of the palettes I was looking at is significantly lower than I was calculating it to be, much lower than what I'm used to. However, I don't have to source it. So, just because you are making less profit doesn't always mean that it's less work, right? Do you use a separate account checking for managed payment? You totally should. Yes, I do have a business account set up, so everything goes in and out of there. I found more easy right away now, because with PayPal you can pay every time that you made the sales and know right away how much your profit. Also found it moves the sales. Yeah, I'll just have to figure it out. I'm gonna see how managed payment goes. See if I can't get it to reconcile in my spreadsheet. Like I said, all of the other places I do, it's quick and easy. I'm obviously competent in spreadsheets, so I don't mind it. It usually doesn't take me very long. If it continues to be a pain, I'm going to look into QuickBooks or Quicken, because that can interface with and work with lots of different places. Anyway, back to my data. So everything is down except for my average sale price. However, so this is comparing to August compared to July. So you have to think about the difference in August and July, obviously, right? Like August, back to school, but then we're not having as many people going back to school. So that can impact sales. So month to month is a good comparison to look at. However, I also like to look at year over year. This August compared to last August. How am I doing compared to my previous year? And you can see down here, I sold 71 items last August, and now I'm at 111. So I'm already pretty significantly higher than I was. If you look at the revenue, I think it's almost $2,000. It's not clicking. There we go. Revenue's not clicking for me. Let me click out of it. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. I'm trying to click on the black line. You know how on Excel you have to get like exactly on it. I can't. So I'm slightly over. It just did it. There we go. There. Oh, there it is. $2,000 last August, $2,400 last August. And now I'm over $4,000. I'm not going to spend it. There we go. $4,000. So I'm $2,000 higher than I was last year. So in comparison, last month, I'm not doing as good as last month, but I'm still killing it compared to last year, right? Okay, so this is my monthly summary, August 2020. I'm at $4,000, sold over 111 items I've sold. Average sale price, sell-through rate. This goal is based off of this $8,000 gross revenue. And this is something that I set up with my mentorship with Chris, but we set this up in March, before pre-pandemic, definitely I'm now a remote teacher at home. I was planning on having all 3 kids in school. So this $8,000 a month gross revenue seemed reasonable. I'm not thinking that it is going to be my goal. I'm going to see how August kind of levels out, see how the rest of the couple weeks remote learning works, but I'm likely going to, and this is the nice thing about the dashboard, is you can go in and you can change this to whatever number that you want to be. And then this will all update to kind of give me an idea of how many active listings I need, how many items I need to sell, find a little bit more of a reasonable. I'm thinking about, maybe closer to that $5,000, maybe even $6,000 range could be manageable. But we'll kind of see how I end October. Let me check in with the chat. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me make sure I have all my notes. Oh, the other thing that might impact, no, never mind. That's not true. So I'm going to show you my top categories, and something I actually wanted to look at. You can go in and you can look at different things. Things are a little bit different now than they were, last year, obviously with the pandemic and kids not going back to school. But I'm going back and looking at my last August sales to kind of get an idea of what my top categories were there. Shoes is up there. So if you're not familiar with this, you have sell-through rate over here on the left. On the bottom, you have average sale price. Up here, the higher up this is, the higher average sale price you have, the higher sell-through rate that you have. Those would be like your BOLO categories. So this is going to be, bags for me is 50% sell-through is still a high sell-through rate, and especially in a month, and an average sale price of $74. So bags for me are still up there as one of my BOLO categories. However, the average sale price has come down to about $60. And I think that is showing that people are still spending, but they're spending less money, right? Keep that in mind when you are accepting offers, when you're pricing things. You can't keep the same mindset of what is happening last year, because we're in a completely different situation than last year was. Skirts is up there, which is interesting. Yeah, that's only 8 skirts. I bet I had a couple of really cool skirts that sold, because skirts typically is not up there. Shoes is up there, 40% sell-through rate, average sale price $37. Dresses is up there. My dresses, so we can look, that was last year. Let's go ahead and look at this August. And you can see the change in this. Bags, like I said, is up there. However, 17% sell-through rate. That's because I have a lot more items now. I've really increased my store, and it takes a little bit of time for that to catch up. Also, it's a pandemic. So 17% sell-through for that, $59. Like I said, it's almost $14 less in the average sale price. People are still buying. They're maybe not buying as much. Some other things, electronics, like I said, my brother-in-law, home goods, these are both my brother-in-law, things that is persuading that. Jackets are starting to sell, average sale price $44. I do like fall and winter, because for clothes, things tend to sell higher. Jackets sell higher, sweaters sell higher, boots tend to sell higher. So that's all good to know. Brands up here, these little dots mean that I probably only had one or a small amount. So they're 100% sell-through. However, I only had one. So it's kind of, it's a true stat, but it's kind of swayed a little bit because I only had one. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a BOGO, because I only had one of those to sell. Things that I like, the bigger the circle, the more inventory that I have of that. So Coach is down here, 25% sell-through rate, $64 average sale price. I've talked about this in the past. This Arata is a 28% sell-through rate, $34 average sale price. It's more of a boutique-y brand, but it works. This is actually, and I'll show you guys this, these brands, all of this stuff that sold this last week, I will show you. I think this was in my last video, but this Zag and Volatar, I'm terrible with words, but this sold for $164. But I only had one of it. So I don't know if it's that brand, or I just happen to have a really cool jacket. I do want to touch on, let me make sure I'm in the right month. Yes, I do want to touch on platforms. And also, if you have the dashboard, this is something to keep in mind. You can see something that I did. It doesn't mess up the dashboard at all, but just so that you know, I have eBay on here twice, and that's because it is case sensitive. So I must have typed in eBay under case once or twice, and then uppercase. So it picks up both of those. However, you can see it's the same number. So it doesn't change the stats, but you may just see it in there twice. After this video, I'll go in and make sure to change that. But you can see my eBay is still outperforming my Poshmark by about $500. However, in past months, it's been by like $2,000. So my eBay is definitely slower. I don't know if it's my brother-in-law stuff, if it's just the market that's happening right now, managed payments. It's something I'm not going to make any big changes right now, but because if you make a change and then there's a couple of things I'm not sure that it is. And so if I change something else, and I wouldn't know what caused it to go back up, right? So I'm going to give it another couple of weeks, get, a couple of weeks distance from managed payments into this new remote learning schedule, and then kind of maybe change some things, maybe add in some more free shipping to kind of get the velocity to increase there too. My average sale price is higher on eBay than on Poshmark, and this is mainly because of shipping. Gross revenue number on eBay is going to include your shipping, and then I charge for shipping. So that number is going to take shipping out. Shipping for me right now is roughly, I think, like 10%, 12% of my gross revenue. So you have to take out, roughly $4. That puts it down at about $38 an average sale price compared to $32. So it's not huge. So Duncan, this is good to know. I'd put money on it that managed payment has caused the fall in sales, which is good to know. And that's another reason why I'm not changing anything. You can only, when you're looking at data, you can do whatever you want, but the best way to look at data and to really have an idea of what's going on is only changing one thing and getting some data to figure out if that changed. So managed payments changed for me this month. Everything else I'm keeping stagnant, I'm keeping the same. And then if it continues to be a decline, and then I'll know it was managed payments. If it doesn't, then maybe next month, in mid-September, I will go and change something to try and increase it. How much is your data, Sarah? Sounds interesting and is like a membership. It's not. It is. So this is a one-time purchase. I have three. That was two. I have three dashboards. Oh, Amazon Prime is here. I have three dashboards. So this one is the sales and trends dashboard. This is for all platforms. So you can put in up to 20 platforms that you sell on. Like I said, I'll put ThreadUp in here once I start selling up on ThreadUp to keep a track of how that is performing compared to my other platforms. But it's a one-time fee. This is for all the platforms that we're looking at. I do have two that are strictly for Poshmark. You export your reports from Poshmark, and then you put them into, you copy and paste them, and the data populates. I'm not going to go into those dashboards for the sake of this video. I usually only do those about once a month because you need to have a good amount of data. So I like to have about a month's worth of Poshmark data since the last time that I looked at it. However, there are a lot of videos on my channel about those, and definitely feel free to reach out to me. But yes, it's a one-time fee. They range from, I think, $40 to $60 maybe, but it's a one-time fee, and then you have it forever. So managed payments, it does take several days for them to batch process payments. Then they do transfer to your bank another 3 to 4 days. Now, do you ship before the money hits your bank? Oh, that's a good question. I just ship like normal. So yes, I would say that I ship before it hits the bank, because if they've paid for it, then I ship the same day, right? So I don't know how that works. I'd like the idea of looking at your data, but don't want to keep in every listing. Can you cut and paste from eBay sales download into the dashboard? So in short, yes. In long, eBay does not make it that easy. Maybe that'll change. I'm going to look into it with the managed payments, and hopefully you can do it from there. But eBay has like 3 or 4 different reports that you can pull from, and none of them have all of the data in one place. So then you're having to, I will say, when I've tried to copy and paste from eBay, it's taking me significantly longer this and pull that, and then you have to match it. Like the fees are in one report, but then your I'm trying to think of other stuff that would be in the other reports. I haven't done it in a couple months since I built this, but I will say pulling it from eBay is pure chaos. PoshMark, you can pull it from PoshMark easy. Their sales report is very easy to pull it from. Everything's in there nice and easy. You do, however, and I'll show you. So eBay, you can go down here. You can look at your sourcing spots. Nowhere on eBay or Poshmark is going to have this information. So you would still have to go fill out this information for your listings if you wanted to know these charts. If you don't want to know these charts, you don't have to do that. So I hope that answers the question, Kathy. Feel free to send me a DM and we can chat a little bit more about it. Or if you have questions, other people in the chat probably also have questions. So feel free to ask more questions. I totally get that it adds to the process, having to track each item, but it makes me more efficient in knowing what I'm doing. And as soon as I pay a lister, so as soon as she lists it, she puts it in here. And then when I ship it, it takes me, I'll show you the files. So when I list it, I fill out this file, let's see, 1 tab, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes I have a SKU 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 fields to fill out when you list it. When you sell it, it's your sold price, your sold date. You have to say that it's sold, what platform, how much shipping was, and how much fees was. That takes me like 30 seconds, especially if you do it by a SKU, it's super easy to look it up. And it's just kind of become part of my shipping process. From start to finish, including this, I can ship an item in 3 minutes. And to me, it's completely worth having all of this information, if that makes sense. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate. I'm so awful with I think it's a super chat or the sponsorship, whatever this is. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. It really truly means a lot. It does take a lot of time to do these videos, and I appreciate you supporting the videos. So let's get right into sourcing as well, and then I'll show you the actual videos that sold. Not a lot has changed since the last time that I did a video last week on the sourcing. I don't have really any new sourcing spots. I'm not outsourcing really. I am going to have a pallet delivered on Friday, so once that starts listing, you'll see that in here as well. And then also, like I said, I have a ThreadUp box. So once that goes in, I will, if things sell on ThreadUp, I will put that in here as well to kind of track how it's going. And a reason that I like to do this, you get a feeling of how things are going. And if you're on Instagram, like Thread, I feel like all I'm seeing is I made so much money on ThreadUp and this, that, and the other, which is maybe it happens, but I want to look at my numbers. So follow me to see how the actual process works and how ThreadUp actually does. So Cynthia is saying they hold money, every payment in Amazon for returns. Oh, so they're talking managed payments. So yeah, not a lot has really changed here. The one thing I do want to talk about is this Macy's lot is part of a pallet that I purchased from a friend who purchases pallets from Macy's. And it kind of gave me a feel of how that was going to work. You can see the average profit is much lower than the average profit that I'm kind of used to. But the reason that I feel okay with taking a little bit of a lower profit is because I don't have to go out and source. Yes, I heard this, which will be interesting. They just opened up a new warehouse in Georgia. I'm also wondering so I've been following ThreadUp and trying to get an idea of how it works. And some people are saying, it's processing 10 to 15 days. And some people are saying it's this long. And I think it might depend on where your box goes for processing. So all of our boxes were rerouted and sent there. Yeah. So I wonder if that's how it goes. I'm not telling you where I bought my pallet from, but I will help you. I will show you what I consider and what I look at and how I decided to purchase a pallet and things that I looked at. Who wants to look at? Oh, I shouldn't have canceled out that. Sometimes I like to go back in and look at data, but here we go. So this is what actually sold for me on Poshmark. If I need to go back, I'll just pull it back up. But this is what actually sold for me on Poshmark. Can you guys see that? Okay. I have to do like a split screen. Yeah. Okay. So this is what sold this last month on Poshmark. We left off with these Calvin Klein boots. So I will start this PE Nation. If you guys follow me, I did a reseller unboxing. I actually did 2 of them. I was less than pleased with it, but in looking at my data, it is actually turning out to be better than I thought, which is why I like looking at numbers, because when I first got it, I was really disappointed. Honestly, I tried to get some of my money back. That kind of didn't work out, and that's a whole nother fiasco. But now that I'm looking at what is actually selling, the profit on it, I'm going to pull up that spreadsheet again. Bear with me, guys, because you all know me. I like data. I don't want to just talk to you about what's happening. I want to actually show you what's happening. But let me actually get rid of my screen real quick while I do that, to make sure that I don't accidentally show you something that I shouldn't, because we are live. Okay. Yes, so let's quickly look at, thanks for bearing with me. How's everyone's week? Have you guys started remote learning? How's it going? Ours is chaos. Actually, it's gotten better. The day one, so we started on Monday and there was a national Zoom outage. So like we couldn't get on any of our Zoom calls. So it was chaos, but it's actually gotten better. And I'm enjoying the time with the kids. I do know that my true passion is not a preschool teacher. I don't enjoy doing crafts all day and teaching how to read and count and stuff, but you know, that's where I'm at in life right now, and I'm going to go with it. Okay, so let's look. I do want to talk about this because I don't want to just tell you how I feel. I want to actually show you the numbers. So that reseller box I purchased for $8.50. That's a high cost of goods for me. However, I don't mind paying up. Online sourcing, $18. I'll pay $18 if I'm going to make $47 on it. I'm cool with that. But for the stuff that I was getting, I didn't feel like it was worth it. However, I mean, I'm making on average $23 an item, which is a lot more than I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be like $2 or $3, and I didn't have to source this. So it was kind of like ordering a pallet. I ordered 100 pounds, so it ended up being, you know, give or take 100 items because it was clothing. When I was pulling it out, I was less than excited. However, I'm actually feeling okay because a lot of it is selling, and it's selling at $20 an item. I didn't have to source it. A lot of it was new tags and stuff. I'm not going to close out of that. I almost closed out of it again. So let's get back to... What's up, girl? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a little real talk right now. So let me turn this off. Real talk is I have really been struggling with having to stay home and remote learn the kids. It's been very difficult for me, to be honest. I do see a counselor, and I don't know if anyone is familiar with EMDR. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it kind of goes into your subconscious, and like people with PSTD do it. So me struggling with this was probably something from my childhood. Anyway, I saw my counselor yesterday, virtually. I saw my counselor yesterday, did an EMDR session around all of this nonsense that we're going through, and I feel a lot better about it today. I'm still not thrilled about it, but I am embracing it, and me and my kids had a really good day today. No one looks back on their life. You know, I don't want to get to 80 and be like, oh, you know, I wish I worked more. No one does that. It's, I wish I spent more time with my family. And I have the opportunity now, even if it's teaching them preschool and kindergarten and, you know, 9th grade math, I have that opportunity. So I'm going to do it. Let's see. I like staying home, just ordering pizzas. How delightful. I can't have pizza. I am gluten and dairy free. So I mean, I can, but gluten and dairy-free pizza, I'm going to tell you, is not where it's at. So these Danskos, y'all, Danskos are not cute. I mean, I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. I didn't even used to pick them up, but they sell for $45. So I'll pick them up. This vintage dress I got for like $1 at a thrift store. And I've had it for like a year and a half, but it's something vintage is like very unique. So I was waiting for the right person. I had it priced really high. And I think had this pandemic not happened, I probably could have gotten over $100. There was some comps that were like 130, 150. However, it's a pandemic, it's a fancy vintage dress, right? So, who's wearing that. Someone offered me $52 and I was like, cool, I'll take it. This Nine West jacket I picked up at the bins and it actually sold in a bundle with these free earrings. And so something I do on Poshmark, and I can show you my bundle, excuse me, in the Poshmark dashboard, there's a bundle. Sorry guys, I'm kind of like, I was a teacher all day, so I'm like trying to get back into reselling mode. In my Poshmark dashboard, there is a chart that shows you your bundles. And I typically have between 30 and 50% of my sales are from bundles. And that's because my bundle strategy, which is I have these items, jewelry that I could get for really cheap. You can get a whole bag of it at a garage sale, or I do scarves that, cost you $1/4 at the bins. Offer a free item, and it helps keep my average sale price up because people are getting free items with it. The items that I give away for free, I classify it as a marketing expense. It's like giving away a chapstick when you go somewhere, right? Like you go to a fair and someone gives you a chapstick, that's a marketing expense. I'm using these items to market my other items. The other thing that it does is it helps drive people back to my closet to bundle more items because I have a lot of similarly looked items, especially on Poshmark. You're only paying $7 for shipping. So bundling is very helpful. The nice thing about this too, this lady, she received it today, says she loved it and already started looking at other things in my closet. This Prana, this is something I'm going to tell you. When you're first starting off, definitely look at comps and use it as a guide. And I still do sometimes. But I saw this and the comps on it were like $15 to $20, something similar, $15 to $20. And I was like, that is so cute. I bought it last month. I'm like, if I have it and I'm one of the only ones that have it, it's a sweater going into the fall. I think it'll sell. And it sold for $48. So sometimes you just have to go with your gut. Yes, mail, Duncan's saying, so Duncan's in Australia, but mail is really terrible lately. It takes 2 weeks to receive a parcel ordered from across town. They only deliver letters 2 days a week. Yes, we're dealing with lots of issues on mail in the US as well. However, knock on wood, I have not had any issues yet. Have you guys experienced any issues? This is one of the bags, Neiman Marcus bags. Neiman Marcus is a nice brand. This was originally $200, right? Nice leather purse. It looked like it had never been used. Comms on Neiman Marcus can be $20 to like $150. So it's always kind of a gamble. I think I didn't pay up for this one, but it was a nice bag. It looked hardly used. It was also orange, which is not a color that sells very well, but it was just too gorgeous to say no. This again was a bundle. So they purchased these tracksuit pants and they got this necklace for free. So part of the Macy's lot, I got some of these Calvin Klein velour tracksuit pants and then hoodies as well. And I got a lot. I mean, there was like 40 of them. And I was like, these are either going to sit forever and I'm going to hate them or they're going to sell. And it seems as though they've been selling. If you go back and watch my video on Monday, we were talking about kind of trends into the fall and winter. People are staying home and taking care of themselves. Athleisure wear is in. So I'm hoping the 90s is starting to come back in. So y'all remember, those tracksuits. I'm imagining the mom in Mean Girls. Do y'all remember the mom in Mean Girls? How she had like the matching fuller suit. Anyway, so I'm hoping that those are sell. I've already sold a couple and we'll look at some more this week as well. Prana, I have been increasing. What's up, Wendy? Thanks for joining. Hey, Lori. Thanks, Lori. This week actually wasn't as good. If you guys don't know Lori, I'm going to give her a little shout out. Go ahead and follow Lori on YouTube. She just has this most calming voice. But she also has really good videos. But she has great content, but she just has such a great voice and a great videos. Follow her over on YouTube. What's up, Wendy? So I have been working on learning jeans, increasing my jean knowledge, and increasing the jeans. I have a whole bunch. Can you guys see? I don't know if you can see. I probably have, I don't know, what is that? 15 to 20 jeans that I need to take pictures of and list. But increasing learning brands and styles, and maybe next week I'll bring in the Poshmark dashboards and we can look at next week is going to be my video with Chris, I believe. The first Wednesday of every month I do a video with Chris. So maybe the week after that I'll bring in my Poshmark, and that looks at a little bit more micro data, and that's where I look at my jeans, what sizes are selling, what styles, boot cut, skinny, high rise, all of that stuff. So do you find, let's see. Oh, I think I did the wrong one. Do you find that when you have a close-up of your jeans and pants as a cover photo, it sells more? Trisha, I'm going to be completely honest. I've only been selling jeans for like 2 or 3 months. For Poshmark, my cover photos I have a little bit differently than my eBay photos because I feel like Poshmark is more like boutique-y in the aesthetic of it. And so I think jeans look better. I'll open one of these up so you can see. So I think jeans look a little bit more appealing as opposed to this, right? Or that, like that. I don't know. I don't use stock photos, and all of these jeans don't fit me to model. So I don't feel like these are very aesthetically pleasing for a Poshmarky closet. However, on eBay, oftentimes I will do this photo, especially if there's like detail back here or you can see the brand. Something I've also noticed with jeans is people like seeing that brand label. So if you do a photo like this, you can then see the brand label, right? Does that make sense? But I'm open to hear other people as well, because I've only been doing jeans, really seriously doing jeans for the last couple months. And part of it is that reseller box. I got a jean box from them, and it really helped me put my toes in and see what kind of jeans sold and what kind of brands to look for and styles. So that reseller box wasn't as awful as I had thought. These Gap jeans, they were either mine or my niece. We're like the same size. But they were either mine or my niece. I normally would not source Gap jeans, but they were distressed. They were a sexy boyfriend, mid-rise. I knew they would sell, but for $15, I normally wouldn't source Gap. And Taylor, I don't know where these people are going. That's a nice, semi-formal gown. That's a pretty nice semi-formal dress. I'll take it though. This one actually sold on eBay and then it was returned for fit. See Gypsy, these two were bundles. So these are both, similar type style, although this was a large and this was a small. So I wondered why they bundled it, but those sold together as a bundle. The thing, I try and push bundles on Poshmark because I think people are starting to get a little bit more aware of shipping. Now that people are purchasing online more, they're becoming a bit more aware of shipping and how to save money. I'm having more people on Poshmark ask me for a shipping discount. I've never had it happen in the past. And so I really try and push the, I got a notification from Poshmark. It threw me off. I really try and push the bundles on Poshmark because it's a flat rate fee. And so if you can get 5 pounds worth of stuff for $7, like that's pretty legit. So I do try and push the bundles for that reason as well. This vintage, I'm so surprised. I had this since it took a year to sell. So I had it last holiday season and it didn't sell. It's so stinking cute. But maybe I don't know what's cute or not. Maybe I don't know fashion. This was part of the Macy's lot. So $15, not selling super high. These, the North Face. I'm in Colorado. The North Face, Patagonia, Lululemon, although I keep most of the Lululemon for myself, or an Athleta, which is why you don't see me selling it often. What are the activewear type brands? Columbia. What's the Columbia? Oh, I said Columbia, the North Face, Patagonia, all those type brands I tend to see often. So the North Face pants, and when they're white and they don't have stains on them, like that's pretty amazing. I did get a black backdrop. I used to hate selling white because I hate taking photos of it, but I got the black backdrop and it makes it pop and look better. And then I don't hate taking photos. This is something from my brother-in-law, sold today for $77. Those are my Poshmark sales. Who wants to get into eBay? What's happening with eBay? So I have a friend, her name is Min Mom on Instagram. And what's kind of funny is we had been chatting on Instagram and knew that we were both in Denver metro area. It turns out she lives like half a mile from me. I know we source the same spots, and we have actually become friends. But anyway, she always has told me, I've never really pulled old inventory. I kind of just let it sit. Eventually it'll sell. With all of this, what's happening with ThreadUp and everyone says it's the rage, I want to at least try it so I can have a perspective to share with you guys. But so I went downstairs this weekend, I went to put something away, and 2 hours later I had pulled all of that inventory and reorganized everything. And this jacket is one of the things that I pulled. And she always tells me that once a month she pulls 50-ish items from her inventory, lets it sit for a week or two before she sends it to ThredUp, or she'll take it to like a buy, sell, trade place, and she sells items. She was like, I don't know what happens about that, but you take it out, like you're going to give it away, and it sells. And this jacket was one of the items that sold, as well as there's another one. I'll show you another 2 things today sold from my ThredUp pile. It's kind of funny. So these are the Vlora track pant suits, all the rage right now. Apparently they look kind of comfortable, I guess. This was from my brother-in-law. So this, I do know what this is. Normally I don't know what his items are. This, I do know what it is. I am a sewer. You might be able to see my machines out there. I used to do upcycle. So I would buy things at the thrift store and then make them into something new. Ain't no one got time with that now for that now. But I do know this is a foot to a sewing machine. I think it might be vintage. I don't know. Maybe it's vintage. This is a Nike. I'm pretty sure this was from the reseller box. And I've talked about this in the past. I've mostly gotten rid of free shipping. The problem, I love eBay's bulk editing. It makes everything so easy. Bulk shipping labels, bulk sending out offers. It makes things so much easier and saves so much time compared to Poshmark. However, I'm noticing when you go in and bulk edit that, and I think Duncan might be able to speak to this, but I'm noticing, and I think it's because if you have like an offer out on something that it doesn't, you can't update it maybe. So I went in and changed free shipping, and I thought that I changed free shipping on everything. However, someone purchased this and it was still free shipping. And they actually sent me an offer, and I was like, oh, that's a reasonable offer. And it would have been a reasonable offer if I didn't also have to pay for shipping. So, I mean, I was at like $3. Luckily, it was a light item. These pants, this is that Arata brand again. It's like a boutique brand. The average sale price for me, though, keep in mind, is new with tax. I purchased like 500 items for my cousin who owned a boutique. So they're all new with tags. So keep that in mind. I don't know how it gets for non-new with tag items. Really cute stuff. These pants, to be honest, I was standing in just the way that they looked like they fit me. But if I moved wrong, they would have, like, you can kind of see there, like they're really tight on my hip area. But whoever they fit, they were really cozy and comfortable and super cute. So you could kind of lounge wear, but also go to the grocery store and not look like you're in your pajamas. This, I think I had talked about this possibly last week. I think I had already shared this, but this had sold. I got it from a friend of mine, and I was told that it worked, and it actually didn't. The music worked, but it doesn't move. So the person who purchased it, left me a bad review and was like, I want my money back. And I was exceedingly nice to them, above and beyond nice to them. And they actually went back and changed their feed or their feedback. So I had one negative feedback last week on eBay, and now I'm back to 100% positive. So even though, and it was completely my fault, like I sent them an item and it wasn't as described. So they had the right to give me a negative feedback, but because I was so nice to them and just all of the seller customer service that I gave, they did go back and change the feedback. However, I did learn on eBay, if you want someone to change the feedback, you as the seller have to send them a request to send the feedback. So keep that in mind as well. The other thing too, I think Chris maybe told me this, and Duncan could maybe elaborate a little bit, but if you sell similar from something that has sold, it gets like a bump. And I've noticed that. So people are like, oh, I hate returns on eBay. I don't do eBay returns, whatever. But the returned items typically sell fairly quickly, or at least starting getting lots of views and watchers right away. Like this, I relisted at the end of last week and it sold 3 days later. So I think having a sell similar of an item that already sold, eBay's like, cool, this is already sold. Boom, let's get it out. So returns aren't all that bad. The only issue that I'm having with returns, what's up, Greg? Thanks for joining. Greg also has a YouTube channel. Head on over there. Greg, I had to have you on my, come join me on a Monday. I do an accountability call on Monday. Send me a DM on Instagram if you want to come join me on a Monday call. We just check in how our week was and everything that's going on. It's open to anybody. Anyone is welcome to join me. But I know Greg has a YouTube channel, so that is my spiel on that. This is, I mean, nothing, I think this was an offer, maybe $17, nothing super fancy, new with tags. I don't think I'd ever pick this up at a thrift store, but new with tags. I got it from my cousin's lot. This Nikki Bicky, these leggings, they're not selling super high, but I think maybe people are seeking them out because I've sold quite a few of them. This Coach bag, I am not one to do a lot of counter offers. I feel like a hoarder. Sometimes I feel like a hoarder and not a reseller. And so I'm like, just get it out my door. Like, okay, I could have made $5 more on it. I could have gotten $5 more on it, but whatever, like just get it out my door. This, however, someone sent me like an offer for $20. And so I sent them back a counter offer. And they didn't accept it. However, that same day, someone sent me an offer, a reasonable offer. I think it was like $47, and I took it. So on eBay, and I had heard, and I am noticing the same with my offers as well, never decline an offer. If you submit a counter offer, it will go to the eBay god somewhere and help the item sell. And something I've also been including is a little note, hey, I hope that we can find a price that works for both of us. And I've been adding in thanks for supporting a small business. If you watch my video that I did on Monday with Christina, we talked about people really wanting to support local, support small businesses, support real life people. And so I've actually found that I'm getting people accepting or coming back with reasonable offers when I give them customer service and not just send a counter offer. I send, and I have it typed up on my phone. So it's just a auto text thing. You can save text replacement. So I just have to type in 2 letters and then the whole spiel comes out. I think I have a highlight saved on how to do it, or send me a DM and I can show you on an iPhone. So I don't have to like type everything out every time, but I think that's helping people feel like they're getting customer service and I'm an actual person. They're supporting a small business. And all of that. Oh, I forgot to talk about those. Those are a pair of jeans, Denimocracy. I've sold a couple new with tags from my cousin's lot. I don't normally pick them up unless those had like embellishments on them though. And so they sell for like $20. And I didn't talk about that one. Sorry guys. They sold for like $20. But they had like embellishments on them. The last thing was a Worthy dress. I hadn't heard of it. I think someone told me Jack and Ryan were talking about it on their channel, and it sold. I exited it out. It was new with tags, but I don't remember for how much. Here again are jeans. So you can see jeans are starting to pick up. You can look at the brands. Bootcut is actually coming back, y'all. The 90s is coming back, and I'm a little sad about low-rise jeans coming back, but I actually kind of like bootcut. I think they're definitely more flattering for most people than skinny jeans. So these were bootcut. They sold for full price. I always love a good full price sale. Here you go. There's another tracksuit, new with tags. That was from a sale. This is from my cousin's lot. It was actually really cute and comfortable. It had a hood, so you could athleisure wear, right? Like this looks really cute, super comfortable. The fabric was so soft, but then you could also go to the grocery store and not look like you were in your pajamas. That's what's selling. And now we're back to that. So here we go. 3 minutes to spare, y'all. Would you look at that? Let me know if you have any questions before we hop off. I can hear my kids out there, which means that it's time for dinner. So I'm not going to chat too much longer, but I do want to say thanks for joining, guys. And thanks for bearing with me. You could tell today I was a little bit more scattered than usual. I went from being a teacher back to reseller mode. And so my brain wasn't necessarily, I did prep a little bit before this, but not to the extent that I normally would. And I also don't teach all day normally. So thanks for bearing with me. We will follow me along on this journey and see how reselling goes. I would imagine that my sales are going to continue to decrease, eventually probably plateau. I'm hoping that I can keep a decent plateau while the kids are remote learning. They do have Zoom calls, so that has helped me get some things done. Greg is asking if anyone ever has multi-quantity of one item, if you can afford to sell the first few cheaper to get the momentum and then raise your prices, it is usually enough to get you going and sell quickly. I've definitely heard that. Chris has absolutely said that, and I'm going to go ahead and share this. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up if you're watching this right now. Hit the thumbs up. If you're watching this in the recording, hit that thumbs up as well. If you have questions for me, feel free to leave those down in the recording as well. Hit me up on DM. I am definitely, it's called a super sticker. I'm so bad. I don't know all these words. I'm still learning it. Thank you so much, Greg. I really appreciate that, you guys. It really means a lot to me because I know times are hard for everybody. And I really do appreciate you guys supporting this channel. I really enjoy doing this, and I really enjoy sharing this content with you. As remote learning and the pandemic has hit, I've had to try and scale back in different places. So if I continue to make money on YouTube, the content can continue to increase. So I do really appreciate that. I know that every dollar counts right now, and it really means a lot that you are sharing it with my channel. So on that note, a couple last minute notes. Monday is my accountability every single Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. It is an accountability call. We talk about our previous week and what our successes were, and then we talk about our goals for the next week and everything that comes up in between as well. Lots of really good content comes up. I feel like I have someone like legit. I feel like someone has already confirmed that they're coming on next week, but now I don't remember who it is. So you guys will have to join in on Monday. And if you want to join, send me a DM and I will send you the link as well. I am going, follow me on Instagram. Saturday, I am going on Ivy and Blush's Instagram, and we're going to be talking about numbers and dashboards and all of that good stuff. So join me over there on her Instagram live. And then also on Saturday, I'm going on That's Snazzy's Instagram live as well, talking numbers, because that's what I like to talk about, but I'm open to whatever she wants to talk about. I don't remember exactly what we decided. So follow me on Instagram. I will share that information on their stories. And then if you do like content, I'm not doing as much on YouTube, only 2 videos a week, but I am on Instagram in my stories. You'll see my life. My stories are usually, I posted things that we were doing in remote learning today, as well as my packages and tips and tricks that I'm going throughout the day. My palette will be in there. And then I do have daily posts on Instagram as well. So thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for supporting me. If there's things that you want to see, just let me know and I will try and cover those in this video as well. And I hope everyone has a great night and has a wonderful week of sales.